This book is like taking the, if you know the persona of Tegan and Sara, and like I'm the dog, Sarah's a cat, this book is like a deep dive into that.
But I think, to your point though, the identity is a huge common thread that just is woven throughout the entire novel. And if you don't, I have a tiny excerpt that it's very brief that I would love to read. It goes like this. As our friends asked us questions about our new relationship, I was filled with ones I couldn't answer. The loudest is most familiar. Why doesn't this feel right? So again, there are a lot of moments where you're talking about these things that are core to your identity, the secrecy, the confusion, the not knowing. But looking back on that, now, what would you tell yourselves?
Well, that excerpt from a chapter where I started dating this guy who's named Spencer in the book, and we're still best friends to this day, and a year out of high school we came out to each other, and he was my boyfriend for most of high school. But it did feel weird, it felt really wrong, and I really struggled with, even once I figured out I really liked girls, I still struggled because I really liked him. And I wasn't fake, and Sarah and I both have talked a lot about like that we didn't want to make this about, well, you have a bad experience with a guy and that's why you end up with girls. Like, that's not how it works. Obviously, everyone here knows that, but it's the LSD that actually does it, so say no. But I think, like, for me, if I could go back, I don't know that I would change anything, honestly. You know, I think that she had an amazing time. I really felt Alex made her heart beat faster. Why would she change anything? No, but I think, like, for me, it was absolutely life-changing to finally make out with a girl, because I was like, sorry to be too graphic, but like, Tegan, that's exactly it. Tegan kisses a girl and it's a miracle, and I kiss a girl and I throw up. So, I mean, we were just given, not because she was gross, just because I was utterly struck by how much I liked her, and it made me. So maybe if I could go back in a time machine, I wouldn't even go back and visit me, I'd visit Sarah, and I would be like, dude, it's gonna work out great, you're gonna be a lesbian icon. And you're gonna hate it when people call you that, but don't worry.
I won't call you that, but speaking of, obviously something that's really special about the book is you talk about the first time you pick up a guitar, which, I mean, to be able to recall that is incredible. And I guess, when is the moment that you knew that you had something special together and like create and collaborate in such an amazing way?
I actually think in some ways we already knew that there was something that would happen when Tegan and I would perform in any way. So if we would go to our grandparents' house, and our grandparents were master storytellers. They were hilarious. My grandmother was very aloof and sort of, she played the straight man, and my grandfather was very, he's devilish and tell these crazy stories that my grandmother would sort of act the part of being, disgusted or horrified, and they were hilarious. And I think Tegan and I started to sort of mimic that a little bit. We would sort of tag off telling these stories and entertaining my grandparents and parents' friends. And so in some strange way, I think discovering that we had a natural intuition around music and that we could sort of string melodies together, that was a really exciting discovery. But this sort of synergy or whatever would happen that made our performances together unique, I think we already sort of had felt that even as younger kids. And I think that writing about music has always seemed really, I've never been very interested in the idea of putting into words what it feels like to make or to perform music. But one thing that really struck me, and again this sort of happened because of discovering our recordings of our early music, was the joy. I mean, the joy that came through those early recordings. We were so excited that we could do this thing. It was almost immediately an addiction. It was like I couldn't wait to get home from school. Tegan and I would just, it was just like amps and screaming and singing. It was like we were in a recording studio every day in our house. Like all we wanted to do was write and perform songs. And that joy, it really, that was almost immediate from the second we found the guitar.
And again, with archival imagery that's being all over your Instagram. You can tell, you can feel it, it's there. But I also think it's fascinating because high school obviously is an extremely vulnerable time. But to be an artist, you're vulnerable all the time. So how does the vulnerability of writing an album compare to writing a memoir about a really vulnerable time?
I mean, I think we agree it was harder to write the book than it's ever been to write music, because my job as a writer in the music world is to take my experience, which is unique to me, and make it universally felt. But with this book, this is very much our very specific story, and it's not glazed over in any way, and so I had to find other techniques in my mind to still make the story feel like, to trust that you would read it and be like, oh my God, I felt this way too. Oh my God, I remember those pants or my chain that I wore down past my knees. Like, there was just so many. I was always reading and thinking, how will I get people to relate to this? Because I really wanted this to extend beyond our music world. I wanted to find readers in every other place that we could. You know, I think this is a universal story. Everyone has to go to high school, and pretty much everyone has the experience that we have, which can vary. Obviously, Sarah and I are an example of that, but being a teenager is hard. High school is hard. Finding your identity and your voice and exploring, staying out of trouble and staying awake is hard to do. And I think with music, it's more about generating a feeling. And I think with the book, we had to learn how to write, like how to describe that feeling. And that was really hard. It was really hard, but very satisfying when it was over. But there's something too about, you know, when we make albums and we make music, it sort of lives in this youthful place. I mean, music is sort of, doesn't matter how old you are, like there's something just sort of frozen in time about any musician, even the ones that are old and wrinkled and running around on stage and still wearing leather pants. I mean, it's like there's just something about that that is sort of, there's, Tegan, come on, you're just 25 this year, it's not like, you're not that old. But I think there was something about the opportunity to tell a story that about an age group that often are sort of dismissed as being too young to have sophisticated thoughts or have, you know, valuable experiences. And I think as women now that are almost 40 years old, to go back and to sort of assign like a real seriousness and like a sophistication to a time that was really confusing, but ultimately has a really set. This is like the version of us now that looks clean, and you know, we know what we know who we are, and we know what we want to accomplish, but we're not that different from the girls at 15, 16, and 17 that we read about in this book. And the thoughts and the anxieties and the worries and the joy and the love that we had at that age is just as kind of valuable and as interesting to me as the stuff that we write about now at 40 years old. And so, 38 years old, 38 years old. But I do think like there is something more vulnerable about writing about those people, because I don't want to like wrong Tegan and Sara from teenage years. Like I don't want to get their story wrong. Whereas with pop music, there's a little bit of a silliness to, I don't know, I'm going to put this makeup on and I'm going to write a pop song, and if I don't like it in a couple years, like who cares? It doesn't, like I want to make great, fun, exciting music, but I don't know if I feel like I owe anything to anyone. I feel like I really owe a lot to little cute Tegan and Sara with their big pants and their worries. You know, I don't know. I just want to do them right. You know. I mean, it is going to be an incredible resource for so many young people. Because having worked at Whembley, I see firsthand like young people are going to save the world. They really are. They're at the forefront of so much cultural change. But given that it is such an amazing resource, it is such an amazing thing to read and to really kind of almost carry through and see yourself in. What is something that you hope readers really take away from your stories? A big thing for me is that I think we're so grateful. This book, and this is actually a good end to like my first thought, which is that like I'm so grateful for everything we accomplished with music. But something about the way that music works, like you get put on a stage, on a pedestal, you get assigned like things like icons, and it can feel very alienating, and it makes us feel like we're being disconnected from everyone. And I don't want to be disconnected. I want to be connected. I am no different than anybody else, and feel like this book, the thing I'm most excited about is I want people to read it and be like, oh my god, they're just like me. And we are just like you. And we are still those people. We are still anxious, messy, complicated, like, I mean messy on the inside, because I'm extremely,
you're not
extremely
messy anymore.
I mean like the squiggle in your brain. Like we're messy and complicated and flawed, and I think that there's been a very long period of time where we have been held up on this and put on this pedestal as like, they're role models, they're so smart, they're so this, they're so that, and it's not false. Like I do believe we work very hard to become the people that we are, but I think that there was a long period of time in our lives where we were closeted and afraid, and this book is about that time where we were lying and stealing and skipping school and taking drugs and being bad. But we came through it, and I hope whether you're young or you're older and you read the book that you take that away from it, that you can kind of accomplish anything and get through it. We really start high school as losers, and we end with a record deal. And I think that it wasn't just luck, it was that we had this moment where we need to change ourselves, and I hope people feel comfort in reading that. Like you can really come back from it. You know?
I would argue that we didn't change, we just accepted ourselves.
Sure, but I mean, we did change and we do not take LSD anymore.
Okay, you can make small changes on the path to acceptance.
I was going to say, I think you really became who you always were.
Yes.
But again, you talked about wanting to connect and be a part of everyone. In the spirit of that, I would love to open it up to a Q&A.
Yeah, let's do it.